Welcome, everybody. Today I'm here with Sergeant Iñiguez, the boss of the recruiters of the National Guard here in Las Vegas. And I have so many questions about the National Guard because, as you know, in immigration, having a military or veteran spouse or child can be the difference between being able to obtain a green card or not when you are the spouse or a parent of a U.S. citizen in the military. So thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Well, I am super excited about having you because I work with the immigrant parents or the immigrant spouses, and they have a lot of questions whenever I mention the fact that if your son or if your husband is in the military, maybe you can get your papers. So what does it take to join the National Guard?
So there's several things. You have to be a good person, I would say, in several factors, as opposed to you have to have certain education requirements. You have to have a high school degree or equivalent. You have to have a good, clean, moral background record, right? So you can have a few offenses, but not too many as far as law offenses. You have to be in good physical health. You have to be between the ages of 17 and 35, though we can push that limit a little bit on, you can be a little bit older, but mainly those are some of the things, right? You have to also be able to pass a medical exam and also an intellectual exam called an ASVAB, which is just basically a long written test that you have to do. There's a couple other little determinants, right? Depending on if you're married, if you have kids, little things like that fall into it. But for the most part, that's the bulk of it.
Okay, so it's not complicated.
It's not too complicated. You do also have to have at least a green card to be able to join.
Okay, so if you have a green card, you can join. And I don't know if you know this, but normally when you join and if the country is in any type of conflict with anybody else, military members get to apply for citizenship without having to wait for anything. As soon as they join, they can apply for citizenship and they become citizens under a special law. So that's a great benefit if you're a legal permanent resident and you want to become a member of the military forces. Now, the National Guard, it's not the Army. It's part of the Army, but it's not the Army. So they are not soldiers that are trained to go to war. They are soldiers that are trained to help and protect in the states where they live, to support the states in cases of needs. And the need may be natural disasters, might be, remember the pandemic, when the pandemic happened, you guys were all over the place.
That's correct. That is correct. So we do help a lot of things that are specific to states as well. We are also trained to go to war, and we can go to war if necessary. But yes, when COVID happened, it was the National Guard that responded. We helped with vaccines, we helped with testing, we helped with all kinds of stuff, even to handing out meals, all that stuff. So the National Guard is basically ran by a state. So the governor activated us and told us, hey, I need this many people to accomplish this mission of helping out during COVID. And that's what we did. We stepped up and we did it.
And you guys did an amazing job. Like, we live in Las Vegas. But let's say if it's the National Guard in Florida and the hurricane happens, who goes and helps all these people with their houses that are destroyed and all the debris? And it's the National Guard, right?
That's correct. Yep. And we can also help other states as well. So California, a lot of times with their wildfires, we have an aviation unit that they fly planes and helicopters, and they help out sometimes with the California wildfires as well. But for the most part, yes, it's, we help our neighbors as well.
And it's a beautiful job. It's a job of a lot of service to the community, a lot of service to the people that live around you guys.
Correct.
So I commend you for that because it's a really beautiful job. One of the things that many of my clients will ask me, it's my son or my daughter wants to go to school. They cannot go to the military because they want to be professionals. Mm-hmm. Can you go to school and go to the National Guard at the same time?
Absolutely. Almost all of our soldiers are using some sort of school benefit somehow, some way, or have used it. We have people with master's degrees, doctorate degrees, professional degrees that serve in the National Guard. And we have many of them. For instance, my own daughter, who's in the nursing program, she's also in the National Guard. So she goes on her 1 weekend a month, and the other 28 days of the month, she
goes to college.
Program. Correct. Actually, right now, she is at one of the hospitals. I can't remember which one. I think it's Centennial Hills, and she's doing clinical trials right now.
Okay, so the one thing that is really important for you to understand is that the National Guard, it's not like other branches of the military where you have to leave there and just do the military work. Nothing like that. You go to your boot camp, and then after boot camp, you serve 1 weekend a month. And it's a part-time job, but you receive full benefits.
Yes, we receive, the great thing about the National Guard is we receive federal and state benefits, and we can use them at the same time.
How great is that? So if you want to know more about the National Guard and you live in Las Vegas, the phone number is 702-843-9470. If you are looking at us from any other city, from any other state, please go to the National Guard webpage, find more information, contact a recruiter, find out before you disregard it. Find out what it's all about, because I think you are in for a treat for great opportunities, and opportunities comes to you once in a lifetime. You need to decide if you jump on that train or not. So look into it. And thank you for being here.